Hello, hello. How's my audio sound? Excellent. Okay, so kicking off episode 3 of the game show. Thank you everyone for watching. So this week I'm going to be playing Commander Keen in Goodbye Galaxy. So it's released by Apogee Software and developed by ID Software in 1991. Designer was Tom Hall, who went on to found 3D Realms. And the programmers were John Carmack, John Romero, and Jason Blokowiak. And the lead artist was Adrian Carmack. So there's no relation between John and Adrian Carmack. You might remember some of those names. John, Adrian, and Tom. They were all the developers of Wolfenstein 3D and later Doom. So if the PC had an equivalent of Mario, then it would probably be Commander Keen, the star of a series of platformers released by ID Software between 1990 and 91. And I guess, well, PC Mario would probably be Commander Keen, and PC Sonic was probably Jazz Jackrabbit. So the numbering on the Commander Keen games is a little bit confusing. The first game was Commander Keen in Invasion of the Vorticons, and that consisted of 3 episodes. And then the second game was Commander Keen in Goodbye Galaxy, which had 2 episodes, Secret of the Oracle and the Armageddon Machine. And these episodes are often referred to as Commander Keen 1, Commander Keen 2, Commander Keen 3, Commander Keen 4, etc. So I'll be playing Commander Keen 4, which was in the second Commander Keen game, so Secret of the Oracle. And the last Commander Keen game was Aliens Ate My Babysitter. That was actually intended to be the 3rd episode of Goodbye Galaxy, but a change in leadership at Apogee meant that it was released as a separate game. So anyway, on we go. So I'm running DOSBox, and I got this copy of Commander Keen from Steam. I think that's currently the only way you can get Commander Keen at the moment. Due to some sort of rights or arrangement, they've, 3D Realms has hooked up a deal with Steam, so all the old 3D Realms titles are available and exclusive on Steam, apart from a few on GOG. So if you are playing Commander Keen, if you do get it, I'll just go through some quick options. I like to have basically X, Z, and C. You want them all close together. You've got your jump, your little zapper gun, and your pogo stick. You want them nice and close together. This is actually a really cool menu. It's Commander Keen's watch on his wrist, a little fancy watch. And as you can see there, it's got Pong. Probably one of the first mini games, I guess. Anyway, on to Commander Keen. Now, I'm a scrub, so I'm going to play an easy game. And I fully expect that I am going to get owned in this. So yeah, these games were notoriously hard, like everything in the early 90s, so wish me luck. The Coke bottles probably wouldn't pass muster on the health brigade today. Yes, I made it through the first level. So Commander Keen actually started out as basically an attempt by Tom Hall and John Romero and John Carmack to make a Mario game for the PC. And so what happened is, at the time, the Nintendo was really good at rendering scrolling scenes. So as you can see, when I'm walking back and forth, the screen moves with the character. And that was actually something that was unique to consoles. And John Carmack, who is the sort of genius programmer behind Doom and Wolfenstein and everything, he developed a technique called adaptive tile refresh. And adaptive tile refresh basically allowed the backend to only draw the new parts of the scene. There we go. Lame. Hey. So ID Software started out initially making a game called Dangerous Dave in copyright infringement, and it was a recreation of the first level of Super Mario Bros. 3. The guys from ID, they went ahead and they made that, and they actually took it to Nintendo and pitched it to Nintendo and said to them, hey, can we make a Mario game for PC? And Nintendo said, look guys, we love what you've done. It's really amazing that you've managed to get this going on the PC. However, we want to keep Mario as a Nintendo exclusive. So that didn't pan out for them. But around the same time, Apogee, which was the precursor of 3D Realms, they were sort of trying to hit up the ID Software games to create another platform game. And that's sort of how Commander Keen, the series, started. So Keen sort of differentiated itself from Mario in the end by its sort of open, sprawling levels in a way. They're sort of like a Metroidvania style game like Castlevania. And in addition to that, they had the little overworld map, and so there's a bit more sort of, I guess, freedom in the in the game world, and that's sort of what came to define Commander Keen. I did actually watch a 17-minute speed run of Commander Keen, but yeah, don't expect that here. So if you want to see some of the later levels, that's probably a good video to watch. There's a ton of them on YouTube. Where is that platform? Not quite as pretty as the princess from Mario, but oh well. So in the lead up to the release of Commander Keen, the dev team, there's only, 4 guys basically. They moved up to Wisconsin, where Tom Hall was from. And they basically got themselves a room in a 3-bedroom apartment and basically just worked day and night working on the game. What stopped Keen from being as popular as Mario? Probably the PC platform, really. Consoles were always more approachable. That was sort of uniform hardware, I guess. Whereas in the early 90s, PCs, home PCs were not exactly common. Everyone had all different types of computers. I know around that time I had an old IBM 5150, so it would not have been able to run Commander Keen. So that's probably what has always worked against the PC as far as gaming goes, is the non-uniformity of the platform. And then also you've got the fact that consoles are just a bit, easier to pick up, a bit more approachable. There was actually a pretty disappointing Commander Keen, episode 7, technically Commander Keen 4, or the 4th game, standalone game at least, and that was released for the Game Boy Color, and Tom Hall had nothing to do with it, and it was pretty much canned. And then last year, Bethesda announced a new title in the Commander Keen series, and it's being developed for iOS and Android as a mobile game. So, people understandably have mixed feelings about a mobile game of Commander Keen. There's a few petitions to sort of, try and convince Bethesda to get Tom Hall back on as a producer or a developer. Good luck to them, I guess. But you never know, with Microsoft now owning ZeniMax Media, who is the parent company of Bethesda. You never know what could happen now. A little known oops. It's kind of hard trying to play this and talk at the same time, but there you go. I like these little guys. Oh no. It's all good. I had to concentrate to get through that bit. A little known fact, I guess, about the whole Commander Keen and the ID Software games is that there is actually some continuity between Commander Keen, Wolfenstein 3D, and Doom. So Commander Keen is actually the grandson of the character from Wolfenstein 3D. So Wolfenstein 3D is William B.J. Blazkowicz, and the lead character of Commander Keen is Billy Blaze, who was named after his grandfather. And then Billy Blaze went on to have a son, and that son became the the Space Marine from Doom, known as Doom Guy. This is sort of all suspected by gamers for a long time. And Tom Hall actually came out and confirmed it. The character of Commander Keen was actually based on lead designer Tom Hall, the appearance. So as you can see, he's wearing like little red sneakers there, and he's got a Green Bay Packers football helmet. And when Tom Hall was growing up, he used to wear apparently red Converse sneakers all the time, and he always used to wear his brother's Green Bay Packers helmet. Commander Keen was, I guess, it was initially the art design and direction was initially sort of led by Tom Hall, and then Adrian Carmack, who was the lead artist for Doom and Wolfenstein, he came on later and sort of completed the direction. Tom Hall was actually influenced by, apparently, he was influenced by the works of Sigmund Freud when he was creating all the creatures in the game. So, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see how it is, but if someone does, can you please point it out? But basically all the monsters are influenced by concepts in Freud's writing. I have no idea how, so yeah, if you see what that influence is, please tell me. I don't recall ever seeing or ever reading about giant fish and worms in Freud's writing, but you know, I could be wrong. Commander Keen's packed full of secrets. I can't remember where most of them are. Feel free to point one out if I miss one. Oh my gosh, what is that? No. So one of the, I guess, the famous characters from Commander Keen was the Dopefish. And the Dopefish was a... he did have a Austrian accent, I think, when he tried to kill me. He was coming after me, he was yelling something in German. Oh no. So what was I saying? Yeah, there's the Dopefish. So you might have seen it either in Commander Keen or maybe in one of its cameo appearances. The Dopefish was a giant green fish with buck teeth in the underwater levels. And it was a popular character, and it made a bunch of cameos in later games. So the Dopefish appeared in other Apogee games, such as Wacky Wheels and Rise of the Triad. It also appeared in Quake, Jazz Jackrabbit, Descent 3, Battlezone, Daikatana, Anachronox, even Max Payne and Hitman 2. I think I have to go this way. Oh dear. So Commander Keen was considered a commercial success but not as successful as the first Commander Keen game. Commander Keen 1 was actually considered a massive success, and considering that it only made about, Commander Keen 1 in its first 2 weeks, it made $20,000, and every subsequent month for the next 6 months or so, it made about $60,000. So it's pretty successful for 90s, but I mean that's nothing compared to the budgets of today. Almost. The reason I chose this Commander Keen is it's sort of the one I had the most exposure to. I did play Commander Keen 1 and a bit, but this was the game that seemed to be on everyone's computer that, could run it. Particularly this first episode. So I've got really fond memories of this. I would love to do Rise of the Triad next, actually. That's probably one of my favorite first-person shooters ever. It's really... I think Rise of the Triad is a bit of a forgotten gem. It's sort of... Well, it's not forgotten, I guess, but it's... I guess Rise of the Triad isn't exactly a forgotten game, but it is sort of, I guess, ignored in comparison to other games like Duke Nukem 3D and Doom. And it actually did quite a lot of things that were different compared to, other games at the time. So it's worth having a look at. Alex, to answer your question, Apogee's, I guess, model was to a shareware model. So all their games were in episode format, and then basically you would get the first episode for free, and if you wanted to play the remainder of the episode, you'd pay for it, and you would, order it over a BBS, news, like early precursors of the modern internet sort of thing. So most people usually played the first episode of things. It's pretty generous practice, considering that, they were often giving you the first third of the game for free, whereas these days developers aren't even doing demos anymore of one level, and a lot of the time you have to pay to even take part in these early access type arrangements. So it was a pretty generous practice, and I can see why they stopped doing it, I guess, because it wasn't making them enough money. But that also helped the saturation of all these games. No, fell all the way down. Whee. So, you might have played the shareware version of Doom. Doom had 3 episodes in it in the original release, and then the Ultimate Edition added a 4th episode. But the first episode, which was like, 10 levels or something like that, was free. Which is crazy considering, I guess, the monetization in the industry now and how much it's changed. Yes. I I think I'm getting into the groove of this pogo and jumping combination. Saying that, I'll probably die now. Another thing that happens in Commander Keen, and you might have noticed when I zapped the bug before, is that they die. You know, they have the little stars around their head and that sort of thing, and their bodies stay in the level. They don't disappear like a lot of games, which, you know, that would take up memory to keep those bodies there. And there's actually a reason for this, is because Tom Hall believes that kids playing the game should have an understanding that death has a consequence. See, there's a body right there. So he insisted that the enemies had to leave bodies so that, you know, kids playing the game would understand that, you know, death is permanent. It's really, I guess it's odd considering how, you know, harmless this game seems. But yeah, according to the Masters of Doom book, which is the sort of official history of ID Software's early years, yeah, that's why the bodies remain in Commander Keen. Anyway, well, yeah, COD sort of plays it pretty lax with you know, teaching players about consequences. Anyway, I think that last death brings this episode to a close. So, and I'm just going to take this moment to spruik a new little project that I'm doing. So thanks to Amazon Web Services, the sort of free tier, I've now got a virtual machine in the data center up in Sydney, and I'm using that to host a dedicated server. And currently I'm hosting a dedicated server of the 1999 first-person shooter Unreal Tournament. Now, every month I'm planning to sort of maybe change the game that I'm going to host on that server. But if you do have any tips, or if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. I'll post something about it. And no, I'm not being paid by Amazon to spruik their services. I would love to be though, so if you know someone at Amazon that wants to pay me, then please do tell them. But yeah, I'll have Unreal Tournament up for the remainder of this month, and it's going to be cycling through some classic maps in Unreal Tournament. So yeah, jump on there when you're free. You can pick up Unreal Tournament for a few dollars on goodoldgames.com or GOG.com or Steam. And yeah, have a look in the server browser. You'll find something like, you know, Fat Studios Presents Unreal Tournament or something like that. It's currently up and running at the moment, but I've just got to take it down tonight and tweak the map list. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. It's been a great showing tonight as well, so cheers. Oh, the map with the big towers, Joel. Yeah, that's Facing Worlds CTF face, so it's a capture the flag map. And I wrote an article for Exclusively Games last year, which I highlighted my top 10 multiplayer levels of all time, and that was number 1. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot, and yeah, I'll catch you next week. I'll seek feedback sometime over the next week to sort of get an idea of what the next game will be. I think one of those options might be Rise of the Triad. I'll try and think of a couple others as well. Anyway, thanks guys. Have a good one.